Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dota Yoshi, bringing you another match on the Cybergamer Ladder. Today, we'll be having NXL versus Inglorious. NXL, ranked 10th, will be challenging Inglorious for their 4th position on the ladder. NXL is this precariously image that's posted right there with a random name. And then we got Inglorious with another image or so. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, we'll get into the picks. We have the Magnus being picked up by Inglorious, with the ban of Batrider and Shadow Demon. Over on NXL side, we have the bans of Nyx Assassin and that Lifestealer. So already, I just want to point out, there is a Coddle and PL in the pool, if they do want to run that, but you see those two laning starting to decrease these days. It's starting to fall out of the meta. I'm not too sure why. It's still extremely strong and potent combo, especially if that Phantom Lancer. However, we see the second best combination of heroes will be the Io and Chaos Knight. The tether with the Reality Rift is one of the most pain things to deal with, because that's a stun from the tether when Chaos Knight Reality Rifts. Then he's got his stun up, which can be anywhere up to 4 seconds at level 3. So that's one of the strongest combinations, that Aya with those orbs flying about will be able to do a lot of damage, and the attack speed and damage reduction on that Chaos Knight when he pops that overcharge is fantastic. Usually it's a kill no matter what when you have that Io and Chaos Knight together. You'll see them run mid, you'll see Io pick up that bottle, and it's just always mana for the Chaos Knight. They've both got great survivability due to that bottle, and they're just a great ganking team. Once you hit level 6, start seeing them rotate around the map, finding any person out of position, extended a little too far, or anything. And they do pick up that Lone Druid now. Lone Druid, you'll probably be seeing him running the offlane. If not much harassment goes to him, he'll slowly start to rapidly pick up his farm and could become the highest farmer in the game. You see that quite often with the Lone Druid. On Inglorious side, we do have the Magnus pickup. His RP is fantastic. One of the best moves in the game. Very great stun, great damage. Being able to pull everyone in to set them up for the Coddle's Illuminate to come flying out, the Shikuchi, and other AoE based moves they want to run, which wouldn't be too surprised if we do see maybe a Lina come out, a Tidehunter if they want to go that route. I don't think it would be plausible, but it's always in the pool if they want to try that. And other great AoE based heroes. The Weaver, I personally don't like seeing because he does require a lot of farm. I mean, his Shikuchis will keep him alive, the time lapse will keep him alive, but he can't help. If anyone's being ganked, he can't really come in and help you too well, especially if there's a great strong force coming in by ASDS. We do see the bans of the Lishrak coming out by ASD. Oh, why do I keep saying that? By NXL. Oh, that's tripping me up. By NXL, we do see the ban of Lishrak coming out. Down on Inglorious, we got the bans of Rubik and that Corp. Inglorious will be looking at banning another support hero as ASD NXL. NXL do require that another support hero, but I couldn't really see them picking up that Rubik too well. But then again, if you do see the Magnus and you can't pick up the Rubik yourself, ban him out. You don't want that chance. You don't want that Rubik picking off your reverse polarity and then use it against your team. It will turn the fights. So you see the PL being banned out by NXL, making sure that Coddle and that PL combination do not go together. And finally, that Puck will be picked up as that final mid-hero ban by Inglorious. So they're banning out 2 good mid-heroes, trying to take out as much or whatever they can that can oppose Magnus and his reign in mid lane. However, if that Chaos Knight and I do want to go in mid lane, Magnus might have quite a lot of trouble surviving that, but he does always have that skewer to get out of there. Against a Quap and a Puck, they'll catch up to you and they'll continue going on you. So, Inglorious banning out those potential mid-heroes and the counter to Magnus with that Rubik. And over on NXL side, they've banned out that Phantom Lancer, the Shrek, and they're going to ban out the hero, trying to limit the support heroes by Inglorious. Wouldn't be too surprised if we see a Lina pick up here, as Alina will go pretty well with that Coddle AoE burst of the Magnus. So it'd be a good lineup and pick up for them if they want to go that Lina route. They might want to pick up a Shen. I mean, get your jungler out of the way with. It's also another support here if you want to run that tri-lane down and bottom, Coddle, Weaver, and that Chen. Magnus maybe, Magnus in middle, but then they would need to look for an offlaner. They may even run the Weaver offlane, because a Weaver can handle himself in the offlane if the opposition do not pick up the counter revelations to be able to effectively zone him out of that lane. And we see a Bane being picked up for their support for Inglorious, so they will be looking to pick up their hard carry next. And there's still a few in the pool. There's still a good old Gyrocopter, everyone's favourite Gyrocopter. Maybe a Nature's Prophet if they want to go for that push-in build. It's probably a bit too late. I would probably see NXL almost want to pull that out with the Nature's Prophet. But they might want to pick up the Luna. There's still quite a lot of viable heroes in the pool for who they want to go with. Over on NXL though, we'll be looking at your mid row if they don't specifically want to run this IO and Chaos Knight mid. And you'll be looking at your final support hero to help out with that tri-lane or to be able to hold themselves in that lane if the IO and Chaos Knight go middle. So they're just contemplating their final pickup. I mean, anything at the moment, I would say another stunner would be a fantastic pickup for them, as they have the IO, they have the Chaos Knight, and then they've got the stun by the Chaos Knight. The follow-up stun will be able to finish off whoever they go on and even protect them if things go pear-shaped. One thing that NXL do not have at the moment is team fight presence. So they do pick up that Lena, but one thing I'm seeing on the NXL side is they don't have too much of a team fight presence. I mean, they have a global rank of IO and the Chaos Knight. Sometimes you usually see a Nature's Prophet picked up with that combination, so you can have a 3-man gank anywhere on the map at any one time once the IO hits level 6. However, so they've got great counter initiation, kind of, or support, but they don't really have that team fight presence. If it came down to a team fight, you'd likely see the Magnus be able to, if he can hit 3 with his RP, 3 or 4, it'd go in Inglorious' way. Purely as they have the AoE damage from that Coddle to follow up, they have the Skewer, they have the Shockwave, they have the Shikuchi. Bane doesn't have much AoE, however, it will be able to hold that Chaos Knight out of the fight, even if he has his BKB up and running, as Bane's Fiend's Grip is superior, and they pick up Anti-Fun. So they'll be looking to go late game here. And with the Magnus and the Empower on the Anti-Mage, that's if they want to go the Empower early, which you don't see too much. You see sometimes if they're trying to very hard push that Anti-Mage fast. But with that Battle Fury at the late game, it will help Anti-Mage substantially. Be able to try and rip through those illusions of Chaos Knight and be able to keep him in check. However, NXL... Oh, ASD. NXL do have another fantastic lineup to be able to go against this anti-mage. They do have the IO, they have the stun by the Chaos Knight, they've got the Lena to follow up stun if they need to. They might get a lucky root off by the Lord Druid. So they've got heroes that can deal with the anti-mage. But we'll see how well this anti-mage goes. If he gets picked off once or twice, even with the Weaver, if the Weaver or the anti-mage gets picked off once or twice within the first 15 minutes, it's going to look pear-shaped for Inglorious, and NXL will take this game. But, let me see the Axe being picked up. The Axe is good against Weaver, Anti-Mage, not so much, because it will burn all your mana, and then you can no longer decapitate, or Culling Blade. I like to say decapitate, sounds so much better. So you'll no longer be able to decapitate Anti-Mage, because he's burnt all your mana. But we'll see how the game plays out. It's going to be an interesting pick up with that Axe. And the lanes so far, as I can tell, we might be seeing... Oh, it's going to be interesting. I would put the IO Chaos Knight mid, Lone Druid on the off lane, Lena and Axe together on that safe lane. And then we would have... Inglorious would have the Magnus mid, Weaver, Coddle, and the Bane on a lane, and Anti-Mage... Oh, actually, no, that'd be awkward. You'd have the Weaver on that solo lane, with the Anti-Mage, Coddle, and Bane protecting on that safe lane. And now we're into the game. Let's introduce the players. On Inglorious, we have ESPX being played by the captain on that Weaver. On the Anti-Mage, we have Larger. I'm gonna call you Lad or Joe. It'll be easier for me in the long run. On that Coddle, we'll have Dazzler being played. On the Bane will be Fleetbix, and finally in mid lane we will have that Magnus. And over on NXL side, On the captain's position, we have Works on that axe. Lone Druid being played by Scribe. Next to him will be that Chaos Knight being played by Tonight. Ire running around, warding it up, getting some vision already, trying to get it out before Inglorious can see any of the ward locations. Will be played by Quaid, and finally, in this support Lena will be Rack City. And so we'll be having a tri-lane up, tri-lane at the top if they want to run the tri-lane. I can't say will we see in a tri-lane, but it could be a good initiation up in the moment. Inglorious is just playing defensive. They don't want to walk in there yet. They do have counter revelations, and they have that observer wards. And now they're going to be looking to come in here. They've got to be careful. We do have more wards up and revelation wards by the Selena, so they can counter ward anything if Inglorious want to try to do anything. So there's 4 sets of wards, or 2 sets of wards, or 4 wards by NXL board out, whereas Inglorious they only got two observer wards. And now we see a good counter ward coming out by the Bane, seeing that the Wisp got aggressive, put down that extra ward. So that's going to ruin the lane vision for NXL. So they're just going to be playing a little bit more defensively now. They're not going to be able to see if anyone's going to TP in, if there's any ganks coming. So for NXL, they're just going to play it a bit on the safe side, even though they do have... Weaver shouldn't be too bad. They do have revelation wards on that Lena if they do decide to go onto that Weaver, and Weaver's going to be a lot of hurt. There's not much Bane or this Coddle that's rotated somewhere. Where are you, Coddle? There you are. So Bane and Coddle's not going to be able to do too much if these 3 want to dive on this Weaver. So Weaver's going to have a very hard lane. And we're going to see the Illuminate come through, do half of Io's health, that poor little ball of energy. In mid lane we'll have the Magnus being played against that Lone Druid. So that's going to be an interesting lane. We've got Magnus currently 3 kills behind this Lone Druid, so it could be the start of things to come with the Lone Druid being able to phase out that Magnus and get all the last hits by himself. Down on bottom lane we have the Anti-Fun up against the Axe. So it's not a usual lane up you see against each other, but it's a smart move by NXL, because if Anti-Mage does try to go on him too much, he's Whirling Blades, which I presume he will probably level. Or he'll get up that Battle Hunger, which is standard. Getting up that Battle Hunger, doing all that damage, and then trying to keep Anti-Mage off those creeps, so he takes a crap ton of damage, to put it simply, from that Battle Hunger. Because once that Battle Hunger starts getting up there, it does 19 damage. 19 duration of 33 damage. That is almost 660 damage. So that is an amazing move, especially if you're against supports and you know they're not going to want to get kills. You just throw it on them. And against this anti-mage, he's already made him use 2 tango so far, but I believe Axe has used his 3 if he picked it up. See, 100, 250-ish. I can't believe I'm not sure what it's actually. Yeah, it is 250. And the Ring of Protection. That's about... Yeah, Axe has popped all his tangos so far. So they're kind of trading hits down bottom lane, but so far Anti-Mage is still pretty fine with those extra 4 tangos he does have left up and running on him. But if we were to guess the first blood anywhere, I'm gonna guess it's top. On top of this Weaver. They saw that ward get placed down maybe. We might see a Reality Rift into a stun here. Not going to see it yet. They're playing a bit aggressive. I'd like to see another Revelation ward possibly come out, get rid of this camp, stack it, force Inglorious to play on the defensive, past either their 2 safe zones, and then try and get a kill on this Weaver. But if they do throw out that ward up top there, then there will be a problem, because they won't be able to see this Weaver anywhere else unless they're around here. Try and force them to come close to the tower to get those last hits, and then you can force them into that fight where you've got Revelation wards. So we will see a stack attempt by this Io, then he's going to realise that it is warded currently from Inglorious. So Quaid's going to be a bit disappointed about that. You might see him pick up Revelations. He upgrades the career, so he's not going to pick up the Revelations yet. Might see Lena pick up a few more Revelations shortly, just in case to deal with anything. And now they're going to have their ward counter warded, and they're going to have to try and stop this. Maybe get that final Revelation out to make sure their ward doesn't go down. And Inglorious are going to have to play defensively here. We want to see a pull by Quaid into this creep camp, so we will see a double stack of creeps coming out shortly. A double wave of creeps going in favour of Inglorious, unless they can get a good stack off on here, which is going to be trying to be disrupted by this Bane. Bane, are they going to get it? Aya ruined the pool for the Lena. Lena would have had at least these 2, maybe 3 creeps. However, Aya got in the way and ruined the creeps for him. Bane and Kotal do not have any wards up and running on them, but there's still, we see a Nightmare coming out onto the Aya, coming into the Illuminate. Illuminate's going to come through. The Wisp and his tether didn't go anywhere. That poor ball of light. Lena's gonna burst down these trees for that Chaos Knight to eat through the final tree to get away to safety. So we do see the first blood going onto the Aya, and we do see Axe picking off that anti-mage down on bottom lane. So anti-mage thought he was gonna do fine. He's a full level actually behind this Axe now. So Axe has got an advantage. Didn't even look like he had to use his Culling Blade. He would have just thrown that Battle Hunger up. Anti-mage wouldn't have been able to get any creep kills because of this Axe diving him, and he's just been able to take all that damage from that slow but steady tick of that Battle Hunger. So we do see the Battle Hunger coming to a full extent of the use by the Axe. He's also picked up his Orb of Venom. That's another unusual item for Axe. He's got a bottle running on him. But I find that very precarious with the Orb of Venom. It's working, because he would have helped pick up that final kill, of that kill onto that anti-mage. So, we do see another dive, and a Culling Blade to chop that anti-mage up. Just under that threshold, and now there's blood everywhere. Oh, glorious blood. Now we're going to see a stun come out. Oh, Slave is not going to be able to finish off that Weaver. They didn't have any more revelations. Lena's got him up into that stash of theirs, but the Courier's currently going down, helping Bottle run for this Axe. Courier Bottle. Bottle Courier. Aha, that's the one. Bottle Courier. I think. Anyway, so I'm currently lost on there. In the mid lane, we have Lone Druid winning by a mile. He's double Magnus's creep score. So Lone Druid's been able to harass. He's got 1400, just spent it on a bit. We've seen that come on the courier shortly. So we do see his face bridge picked up for his bear. So that's a nice pickup for that Lone Druid. He's quite substantially ahead of the lane. He has to be careful not to feed this 120 gold off to that Magnus. He's just going to resummon it, so the bear's going to be fine. We do see this is where the lack of vision starts to come in play, as the 6-minute mark runs around. There's no vision for, we see a little bit of initiation, not going to do too much. The Illuminate finishing off the Ire from the final attacks of the Weaver. The Dragon Slave and the Light Strike Array not being able to do too much damage to that Weaver so far. Lena is only level 3, so... and they haven't been able to chain up their stuns. So surprisingly, Inglorious is winning this top lane. It's not something I would have expected to have seen, as you presume the tri-stunning combination of these three would be able to beat just a Nightmare. However, they've been able to set up a great Nightmares into Illuminations, and the Sakuchi coming straight on through to finish him off. But as I was saying, this is where you start seeing the lack of wards come out. I mean, you have D-wards by the Kotal, by Dowser on this Inglorious side. So now they've got no vision up top here. They've got no vision on Rune. And finally, they've got no vision down here. So Inglorious are playing into the dark at the moment. They do have wards coming on the Courier. And we'll start to see Inglorious vision will start to run out shortly. And we had an attempt at bottom lane. We had a TP in from this Bane, as the Axe possibly could have been diving that bottom lane. However, decided not to. I see a Illuminate come flying through, a counter ward by counter ward onto the counter ward. So they're going to destroy one counter ward before that Kotal can get off that other counter ward and destroy the observer ward, I should say. And looking at creep score, Chaos Knight's 9 for 4 against a Weaver 13 for 5. That's just extremely far behind at the moment. And I'm getting messages. That's not what I want in game. Turn off notifications. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, so now that's done. We might be seeing a go onto Weaver very shortly. Stuns come flying out. We got jump in, 4-second stun. Light Strike away, chaining it up fine. Dragon Save come flying through. Weaver is gonna fall. He didn't get his time lapse in time, so Io's gonna be quite happy about that. Being able to get out of there. So, down on bottom lane, we do have a rotation of the Bane, and Coddle's also down bottom. Is going to split out this haste rune for that mid lane Magnus. But at top, Chaos Knight's finally got some room to breathe. He's finally got something to do down here. We got Axe. He's wading to strike. He wants in. He doesn't care if there's a Bane down here. Bane doesn't have Fiend Script yet. He's coming in. He's going to throw out that Battle Hunger. Get a lucky Cullen Blade off. No, he's not going to be able to get there in time. Anti-Mage, he's going to fall. He's got a few hits. He needs a creep kill. He's not going to be able to get the creep kill in time. He's been Tranquil Boots up. Will the Tranquil Boots save him? And now Magnus is trying to fight this Axe. Axe is too strong. He's turning him back around. And the Tranquil Boots do save that Anti-Mage. The Battle Hunger by the Axe does not cancel those Tranquil Boots. So Anti-Mage was able to survive with that courier bringing in his boots just at the right time to keep him alive. Gotta see that Illuminate hit on the Lone Druid, but Cole's just being a pain. He can't finish him off. But be careful though, because I mean this Lone Druid would be able to turn around and then kill this Coddle at any waking moment. We do have a Magnus sitting on the side. He's picking up his full one charge. He's got his arcane boots. He's got an RP up and running. So they're going to be rotating top, trying to find a pick off on this Io and Chaos Knight. Io is still level 4. He needs to be level 6. The longer it takes for him to get to level 6, the further behind NXL fall. And even though they're ahead of XP and Gold Graft at the moment, which actually I'm almost kind of surprised. I mean, they do have an extra kill. But this kill up on the Chaos Knight has been a bit detrimental. I mean, he's 800 gold behind that Axe and Weaver. Magnus and Weaver. However, that Axe and Lone Druid absolutely demolishing mid lane against that Magnus. I'm going to see a TP down bottom. Bane, still not level 6 yet. It's going to get it off this wave if the anti-mage stays out. Might not get it otherwise. It's going to be close. Magnus is going to rotate out, so he will pick up that level 6, which he does need. And then Magnus will be starting to rotate back to mid lane. The way he's going, he should have a Blink Dagger up at about the 16-minute mark. And then at the 16-minute mark, you kind of hope to see a group up and push style by Inglorious coming out with 4 of their heroes while anti-mage just continues to farm up. Except against this Axe, he's losing. He's losing substantially to this Axe. Axe has got 47 creep kills against this anti-mage, and Axe has also got that extra kill. He's been Fiend Script coming out, but Lena instantly makes Bane get rid of that, and now he's chasing him down on the tower. We've got to blink up in 3, 2, Cullen Blade, he's not throwing it, he's missing it, he's got to blink away. He needs to get another Battle Hunger up. If he gets another, he's going to get it. Cullen Blade, decapitate, and that's a dead anti-mage. Now a lucky entangle goes out onto this Magnus. Magnus is already skewed away, he's going to fall. And now they're going to look to dive. No, they're not going to get a dive. They're going to grab 2 kills. Lena will fall in the backlines. Up at top lane, they did go for a dive on that Chaos Knight and the Io. However, Weaver was not able to find those kills with that help from the Coddle. So that's 2 deaths down on Inglorious with that anti-mage going down. And that was for the Lena. Great plays out by this Axe. Great positioning by this Lena. Bane was oddly placed, so the Lena got rid of that Fiend Script. Axe was able to chase down that anti-mage, and it was great. Great play by NXL to be in the positions they were. And then we had a good TP come down by the Lone Druid to make sure they could finish off anyone else. And they did get to find that Magnus because of that entangle coming out. So NXL are playing great team game at the moment, being able to support each other and come in. At the same time, Inglorious couldn't do anything as they were diving that Io and Chaos Knight top. So it was just good positioning and teamwork so far by NXL. And they're going to be looking to pick up this Coddle and that Magnus very shortly. Axe ping throws the ping out onto Dowser, and now Dowser's going to be in trouble. He gets a great Cullen Blade, and it's going to fall. Final attack by that Lone Druid. He got a first helix from that proc. That's the word I was looking for. First helix proc. Able to do a lot of damage to that Coddle. Now we're going to see the Nightmare coming out. Fiend Script hit onto the Axe. Probably not necessarily the right hero. Once again, Lena in the right place at the right time, cancelling that Fiend Script. Lena will fall, however the Axe is going to be able to get out of there with his life, which is what you want. Now they're trying to kill off this bear. Wondred's just got to be careful. They do have an RP up in 2. They're not going to use it though. We got Axe still looming around, wanting to find more. We got a ping by this Dowser. He thinks he knows that Axe is around here. They're not too sure. Got to see a transform into short form. And we see Axe just picking off that Magnus. Wasn't expecting him. And once again, crunch. Well, he didn't even have to decapitate him. And so, at the moment, NXL are moving ahead quite substantially in this lead. This Axe playing brilliantly. It's been able to pick off Anti-Mage. How many times has Anti-Mage died? 3 times. Been able to pick up 3 kills on this Anti-Mage so far. And so, Axe. You couldn't ask for a better game out of this Axe. Lena's just making sure that there's no one around here. Possibly tried to stack this camp for the Axe. Didn't get there in time. So that almost was a good play by that Lena. But Lena, Rack City's position in all games has been fantastic. He's been here when he's needed. 1, and again, 2. Bane, just can't get the Fiend's grips off and keep it going. This Lena has just been on Bane's ass. Just fantastic plays by this Lena. And now we're going to dive up top. Going to see a stun into the tether. And Magnus will fall. And now the Weaver is out of position. The Light Striker is going to miss. Slave will come flying through. Weaver's going to pick off this Io, but he's going to be out for his own life. Oh, no, Shikuchi comes back around. Final attack by the Lena to pick off. So it's 2 for 2 so far. And Bane, not going to be able to find the kill on the Lena. But luckily for Bane, coming in with that Brain Sap, being able to finish off that Chaos Knight. Now we've got an Anti-Mage coming in. And no, trying to find that Mana Void. Got fogged with Ward. Now we're just going to run around in circles. Comes in Io, stuns him, so he still can't get that Mana Void off. Tries again, couldn't get it off. Fiend's Grip comes flying out into the Io. Io will fall. Final hit does go to the Anti-Mage, and now he finally gets that Mana Void off, getting 2 kills, racking up the money. Now he's going to be blinking out shortly into the trees around here. Chaos Knight's going to find him. There we go. He blinks down. He's going to be out of there. And Axe finds another kill in the Kotal. He's taking on this Sakuchi of the Weaver. He's got very sharp and crunch. Great curling blade by the Axe to find that Weaver. Weaver, unfortunate for him, couldn't get that final auto attack off with that Gemini. If he got that off, dead Axe and a happy Weaver. But this Axe, MV bloody P. My god, he's playing fantastic. Culling blade at exactly the right time, especially with Weaver's health. He's got an unattainable amount of health at the moment. I'd say he's got about 650 health, a Culling blade or 2 with a bottle hunger, and you can decapitate almost instantly. So Weaver's health, 890. Actually, it's higher than I thought, but even a Culling blade or 2 will just knock that off, put him into that low threshold range of death. So, Werx is going to be happy. One bloody happy chappy. And he picks up his Blink Dagger. Unless he had it before. I'm not too sure. When did he pick up his Blink Dagger? Hey, he just purchased Vanguard, so he's had his Blink Dagger for a while. Sorry I didn't pick up that earlier. But fantastic plays by the Axe. Being able to pick up 2. Nightmare comes out into this Lone Druid. We're going to see a Skewer straight back. Luna hasn't thrown out that stun yet. We have a TP support coming in by that Io and the Chaos Knight. Io's going to fall quite fast to that Magnus with that Empower up and running. Magnus is going to be able to try and get out of there as the Enfeebles onto the Chaos Knight. He's doing 80 damage, so it's not as much as he wants. Bane will fall. Kotal falls in the side. Weaver will be picking off that Lena. Weaver's going to go for this Chaos Knight. If he can get that Shikuchi off onto him, he will kill him. Shikuchi runs out just in time. Chaos Knight does have a little bit of time left over. He's going to fall. Now, we've got the Battle Hunger thrown out, but he picks up that kill, so he's not going to be able to do much more damage. We have the Mana Void coming out into an Axe, which does 2 damage. Not too much damage. Now, Max is going to man fight. He doesn't have any mana. We've got a Tether coming in. Great Tether stun with the Wisps. Fantastic by this Wisp. And now with his life it's danger, but being able to pick off that Anti-Mage, great buyback with his Axe, saving his body and crimes health of this Io. So this Io, fantastic stun, being able to pick off this Anti-Mage. Even if he had died then it would have been worth it. Finding Anti-Mage, picking off Anti-Mage, keeping his farm down substantially. It's at 3,300 gold. So Anti-Mage isn't having a fun game by any means. You don't want to see him that far. What items does he have? He's got abysmal items. He's got drums, he's got tranquil boots, he's got a poor man's shield. You want to see more than that at a stage of the game on an Anti-Mage. But this Axe up against him so far. Have we found new meta against Anti-Fun with the Axe? But Great pickup by the Axe so far, been played to the best of their abilities. Been MVP 813. Be able to find all the kills when needed. Found all those kills up on the anti-match. So now we're going to see a push onto the second tower. They're going to be able to get the second tower. Not much they can do. Magnus doesn't have that RP up for another 12 seconds. And you won't see them want to fight until that RP is up and running. Next, they're going to probably want to back here. They may look to rotate to Roshan. Pick up a Roshan while these lands are pushed out. Even let Anti-Mage get this tower for a trade of Roshan. Would be worth it. They're going to smoke up and they're going to look for a kill. We have Chaos Knight. He's a bit under the weather at the moment with his health pool. They're going to be looking for this Anti-Mage. And Inglorious, they're going to have to be playing careful. We've already got Anti-Mage looking to back. So they won't find Anti-Mage out anytime soon. I'd like to see him pick up a TP in case if it's required. But he's not going to pick up a TP. Inglorious are playing extremely defensive. So the smoke gate onto ASD into this Roshan. It's going to be a quick Roshan and a sneaky Roshan. They do have a ward up making sure that there was no suspicious counter wards laying around. They do probably see this, but they know they're going to be able to get this anyway with that great smoke timing. So the Aegis will go to the Lone Druid. Scrap's going to be happy. He hasn't been falling. He's got that extremely tanky amount of armor and health. So we won't be seeing Lone Druid fall anytime soon unless he's severely out of position. And now we just got a rotation again from Nexel and Excel. They're not going to be able to find Joe running around on this Anti-Mage. He's going to be able to get out of there in time. We're going to be seeing this Weaver trying to pick off this top tower. We have a bit of... we got one TP on the Lina, but then there's that Chaos Knight and that Wisp combination. Might look to see them come top shortly. Tower will fall to this Weaver. So Weaver's able to pick up some of his farm. He's got his orb up and running. He's going to be looking for his... oh my god, I'm not doing good with names. Perseverance. That's the one. Be looking for his Perseverance and work his way into that Lincoln Sphere. And that Lincoln Sphere will help him out. He'll get rid of that stun, get rid of the Chaos Knight Rift. He'll get rid of the Decapitate, the Hunger, Lena's Laguna. And then we see a Fiend's come flying out onto the Axe. Once again, it's going to have to cut it early a bit too much. And now Aya is in a world of hurt. The Lunar can fly through. RP on 3. Fantastic RP. Minor Void coming out. Skewer, Shockwave. Not being able to get that Skewer off in time. However, this Laguna Blade comes flying out. Not going to be able to kill that Weaver as he does go invisible in the time of that Laguna Blade. That's 4 kills for Inglorious for the death of 1. And Lundred's going to be able to TP out of there. Fantastic RP. Fantastic positioning by Inglorious. And they were able to turn this fight back around. Being able to pick off the Observer Ward. They got a free tier 1 top, being able to defend their tier 2 bottom, and to pick off everywhere. Inglorious, they're not giving up yet. Weaver pulling his way back into this game. He's going to have his Perseverance up and running. He'll need another 1300 gold after that to pick up his Lincoln Sphere. And we might see quite a bit of damage done onto this tower very shortly. We do have Aya rotating down the lane, so they're not going to try and do any Wisp, Chaos Knight shenanigans so far. And to be perfectly honest, there hasn't been much shenanigans going on by this Io and Chaos Knight so far. You'd like to see them constantly trying to find... oh, I got hiccups. Sorry about this. Okay, it should be good. But as I was saying, you haven't seen much shenanigans going on by this Io and Chaos Knight so far. You'd really want them to roam around the map, find these pickups. The Reality Rift's not going to be able to go off. Bane's going to be able to get away. Oh, we got to jump in. Reality Rift. We're going to dead Bane. But this Io and Chaos Knight have not been able to do as much as they should have been doing so far. We've seen one relocate gank, and that went iffy as the Io died. Then lucky the rest of the NXL's there to back him up, specifically this Axe. But Io hasn't been used to the best of his ability. I mean, the player's been great. He was able to help this Axe pick off the Anti-Mage, but the relocation itself hasn't been used to the best of its ability and useless so far this game. However, they are going to put pressure on his tier 3. Anti-Mage is going to have to jump back to help out with this tier 3 push. Chaos Knight takes a lot of damage from that level 4 Illuminate, and they're going to have to think about backing. They're going to pop an Urn on him, but that's not even going to get him up to half health. I mean, there we go. We got another RP on 4. Fantastic RP. Mana Burn. We got a skill back. We got a we do have that shockwave. Not there we go. Shockwave's been thrown out. Fiend Script being thrown onto the axe. That's 3 down for NXL, and then I have to run for it. We're gonna see a TP by this. Oh, but he's gonna fall. He had a beetle on him by the Weaver, and the evil Bane, and he's trying to delay it to think of the name. Brain sap gonna come flying out. So that was a 4-person trade for Inglorious. That was a great, fantastic turnaround. Once again, NXL grouped up, Magnus having that blink dagger, finding that precision moment to jump in, hitting 4 of them, the Might of Void coming out, not doing as much damage as you want, but still doing a substantial amount of damage. Being that level 2, being able to burst him down quite a lot. And then, that pain in the ass, illuminate by the coddle, coming flying over the top. So now we see this anti-mage, he's starting to pick up. He was about 5k behind, now he's only 2.5k. So he's making his way back into this game. He's got his Empower up and running. He's working towards that Manta. As he is getting that Empower off, he doesn't really need that Battle Fury, and his farm hasn't allowed it so far. He's picked up that Ultimate Orb to give him that extra health, get him the extra agility, to be able to keep himself alive in these fights. And so far it's been paying off quite effectively for him. And he'll be picking up that Yasha very shortly into that Manta style. Not too far off it. Now we have the Ire and Chaos Knight walking around with their axe and fellow support Lena. And Lone Druid still trying to farm up. He's got an armlet and the Maelstrom up so far, owned by Scribe. Oh, he doesn't have the mana to use it. Never mind. I thought that wasn't his for a second there, as it was all blanked out. And we do have the Roshan token. Will be dying in 30 seconds. So that was a useless Roshan for them. Oh, Roshan token. Roshan's never useless, but the token's not going to be used to their effect, as they did get pretty heavily demolished down on this tower. If we look at some of the items, we have the mech picked up by Coddle, we have the Lincoln Sphere now finished by this Weaver. Another major item we got BKB started working on by this Magnus. We have an Overclock picked up by this Bane, so we might be looking to turn that into his Aghanim Scepter or BKB, depending on how he wants to run that. Anti-Mage does have that Yasha picked up and on him at the moment, so he'll be working towards that Manta in about 600 gold, so give him 30 seconds and he'll have that up and running. Over on Nexus side, NXL, we have Axe hasn't picked up anything for the last few minutes. Probably about 5 minutes now, so he has been picked off a few times. They have lost those 2 major fights. Lone Druid will pick up this Invis, so he's going to be fine against this anti-mage and that Weaver. We do have this Ire working towards his mechanism, and the Ire he's got almost his buckler up and running. He needs another 180 gold for his buckler. Doesn't look like he'll be getting that until he gets a few assists. We have the drums and the armlet almost finished for the Chaos Knight. It is finished, it's sitting on his base. So he'll have the armlet coming to him very shortly. Should help him with that damage quite fast next fight. And so the items are looking fairly even. Even the gold graph says it's pretty even. That mech's going to be more helpful for Inglorious, as NXL still doesn't have their mechanism up and running. And I still like to point out the fact that Ire and his relocate hasn't been used to full effect. I mean, they have a ward, they have vision of anti-mage farming. I mean, down in bottom lane, we're going to see the Lone Druid pick off this tower. We're going to smoke coming in. We got a blink, and the skewer's going to miss. Battle Hunger's going to hit on him, but he's just going to be able to shockwave through a creep shortly. The Fiend Script coming out onto the axe. Axe gets hit by the RP, and he will fall. That was an unnecessary RP, so that's going to be down for another minute and 40 seconds. And we got Weaver chasing down this Lone Druid, and tethered up by this Ire. But Scribe should be fine. ESPX is still going to try and pick off this Weaver. The Gemini's being a pain. If he gets hit by this bug, not going to be able to hit. He's going to be able to skewer all the way up, grabs the stun onto that anti-mage. We're going to come find out, and then pick off by that Chaos Knight. Fantastic stun. Okay, they might not be using the relocation to the perfect extent, but they're using the tether beyond beautifully. Great timing tethers, keeping himself not only alive from that Weaver, but being able to stun that anti-mage and finding that pick off on that anti-mage. Anti-mage, it's just got set back again. So he's going to be held back a bit more. Lone Druid's going to keep going out in front. Chaos Knight's behind a fair bit. But so far, it's quite an even game. We do have NXL a tower ahead, but they're behind in gold. That's purely because they've been losing to these 4-man RPs, being brilliantly thrown out by Eld. Sorry for butchering name, but by Eld. And then we're going to see a pick off on the Ire from the Weaver, but they don't care. They just want these racks. Skewer and the Shockwave not going to be able to latch on. Illuminate coming out, finishing off from the final attacks from that Weaver. Going to TP on top of this hill. They don't have a Skewer. They've got nothing to hold him in place. Now Axe is going to blink away. He's going to be fine. So we're going to see a loss of that Ire and the Chaos Knight for the trade of these beautiful barracks. So they're gonna get the barracks, and now they're gonna. Inglorious are gonna try and turn this around. They've got RP up and running. We've got a great jump in taunt by this Axe. Cullen Blade coming out, finishing off that Bane. Bane's not gonna be able to do too much. We've got a fair bit of damage coming flying through. The Light Strike away. Laguna Blade's gonna finish off that Magnus. We've got a Minor Void popping off that Lena. Now we've got a Man Fight up. Great Tether Stone coming out. And do they have enough? They've got enough to pick off that Anti-Mage. Great pick off that Anti-Mage. Weaver's gonna pick off that Axe. Now Aya's going to be on the run. We've got 2 TPs coming in and buybacks coming flying back in. So Aya's going to be fine. He's going to even want to chase this Weaver down. But he's just going to keep himself alive. He's going to earn himself up to... He's going to TP back. No, they're going for a very, very aggressive TP into this lane. And they're going to try and push off this tower. Aya... They're going to try and fight this Weaver. Weaver has TP'd back. Illuminate's going to come flying through. Got to find that pick off on that Aya. And now... Chaos Knight's severely out of position. They've got an Axe here. Axe is going to come in. He gets a taunt off. We've got Chaos Knight turning back around with that armor tugging off. Doesn't have enough to pick off that Weaver. Weaver's Lincoln Sphere is down, so for Cullen Blade comes flying out very shortly. We've got a great stun coming off. We've got a Cullen Blade. He doesn't have mana to come off with the Cullen Blade. Will he mana toggle and then get it? They're going to find it. Great pick off from that Weaver. Weaver wasn't able to. He's already time lapsed. He didn't have his Lincoln Sphere up. And they're going to find that kill onto that Weaver. So, IO for Weaver. Fantastic trade. Chaos Knight... balls to the wall, almost dying, so he's going to get out of there. He's going to be very happy. And NXL, they're just going to back off, regroup. They should know Roshan's up. His only ward vision on the map so far is lackluster, but Inglorious has it where it counts. I mean, they can't see a rotation if they want to go through here. And speaking of wards, we'll probably see Lena counter ward very shortly. So... Inglorious are going to be losing their only ward. And NXL are going to have that advantage. They can come in, rotate in, get this Roshan. Especially with this lane constantly pushing. And we hear accident coming out. Okay. And they should know that NXL will be wanting to push this Roshan, so they are rotating down now. A ward gets placed up here. We're going to ping out from the... Weaver is currently dead. Okay, so they can't fight it. So, Weaver's still dead up from up top there. So, NXL pick up a fantastic Roshan attempt after a fantastic man fight by this Axe and the Chaos Knight. And let's have a look at some levels in this game. We have Weaver on 21, we had Axe and the Lone Druid sitting on 19, Anti-Mage on 17, almost level 3 RP on that Magnus. By him sitting on 15, we might have a relocate very shortly. They're thinking about it. Are they going to do it? They're not going to do it. So they were looking at it, but they're not going to do it in the end. And we have a counter ward coming up. We got a pause coming up by this IO. So within this pause break, Inglorious, they have to... Tom's monitor has turned off. That's interesting. Good old Tom. Tom, you're letting us down, man. You're letting us down. Why, Tom? Why? Which one's Tom? Swear, which one? Where are you, Tom? Okay, Tom doesn't want to be appeared on the scoreboard, so I'm gonna guess Tommy is... Which one's Tom? I don't know which one Tom would be. Would it be Chaos Knight? Could be Chaos Knight. Anyway, Tom's got his screen back on and they're ready to continue. And Chaos Knight, 1300 away from his BKB. Lone Druid, he's got that Maelstrom up and running. He's picked up his Skull Basher. He's got his Hyperstone and working towards that AC. So he's got a lot of farm up on him at the moment. Sitting on 16k worth. Weaver on 13.5. So Weaver's not too far behind. Anti-Mage slowly trying to pull back up. But he's died 6 times. So he just keeps being picked off. And it's because of this axe. This axe, MVP. Being able to find this anti-mage everywhere. Brilliant stuns coming in by this IO to be able to make sure they pick up the kills. William's not going to be able to do too much. Nightmare's coming out. Surprised we haven't seen an Enfeeble also onto this bear. Try and reduce some of his damage coming out. So, Bane throwing out an Enfeeble. We have Chaos Knight throwing out those illusions. This tower will fall. Shikuchi come flying through. We've got an RP on 2, so it's not as great RP, but they're still going to be able to find a pick off on the IO. We're going to have a turnaround. Toilet come flying out. Magnus will die. We've got the Laguna Blade come flying out. It's going to be time lapsed by this Weaver. Weaver's going to fall very shortly. That Hunger might pick him off. No, he's got too much damage and speed to get back to Fountain. We have the Axe trying to find this barracks. They're going to pick off the final kill onto that Bane. Bane is going to buy back to come back into this game. We have the armor token going on with... Oh, my apologies. Armor toggling by this Chaos Knight to keep him alive. Now he might be in a bit of trouble. With Burying Step coming out, see him toggle very shortly. He's going to toggle back up. With the taunt coming back in by this Axe, he doesn't have that Culling Blade up and running. So we'll see an Axe death very shortly. There we go. Survived a bit longer than I thought, but it does end up falling. Weaver, we hear a Mana Void being picked off in the background onto that Lina. So Anti-Mage will pick up a kill there. But the damage has been done. Yay. So the damage has been done. And NXL are now 2 barracks up. So the game is slowly looking more and more grim for Inglorious. They are in ahead of XP. They are a bit behind on gold. Considering they are... Oh, wow. They did get a pick off on the top racks. I can't believe I missed that. So they're going to pick off on the top racks. So the Weaver and the Anti-Mage being able to split push that so far. They've got the top lane pushing where they still have a racks. So they're going to have that equilibrium of the top lane. But there's going to be 2 coming in against them. So this is a very good match so far. And RP, it wasn't as good as it could have been. It only hit 2. It missed out on a fair... It missed out on the Lina. It missed out on a Lone Druid. It got his bear though, and it missed out on the Chaos Knight. So it wasn't as effective as it could have been. So they did lose the racks, but they traded for top racks. And now it comes down to who makes the next move. Do they see it? No, that vision just out of range. So that he's going to get away. Anti-Mage is going to continue farming up. He's had his manta up for a while. He's going to pick up the cost-efficient Vladimir's offering, give him that little bit of lifesteal, given his team that damage, and he's shown himself. They know he's here. They're going to be searching for him. They might find him. Anti-Mage, you're in trouble. You got to TP out of here. We'll be able to get the TP. Jumping comes by the Axe. He's going to blink away and he's going to TP. They're going to try and find him. The mana burn by these illusions, destroying Axe. Axe is now gone. He gets modded up by, I'm gonna guess the Lina. Yep, Lina popped those mana boots. Puller's coming up with this Weaver. Possibly ESPX's. His screen probably just turned off, so they might need to turn that back on. Tom! Why, Tom? Why? So, he's gonna be filming pausing for a while. And we saw a bit early he had a butterfly, but I didn't get to mention it. He's got the butterfly picked up, so he's doing quite a lot of damage. He's hitting for... that is Mask Guru coming into play. 307 damage. Yeah, 207. I'm such a Mask Guru. Yeah. Anyway, we hit it for 307 with that Gemini. So, that's 600 damage on that first attack. So that's a lot of damage come find out by the Weaver. And he attacks every 5 seconds. So he's doing 2 attacks per second with that Gemini every 2.5? Yeah, every 2.5 seconds. That's a lot of DPS coming out by him at the moment. And now we'll see a resume of the game. And Inglorious can still win this. If they can still get the great pushes off and being able to keep these lanes pushed out. Go for these, continue getting these Raxes. But NXL don't want to continue this game anymore. They're starting to lose effectiveness on the heroes. Lina, she's still effective for a stun. Laguna Blade, great at picking off those supports, but that's not what you want at the moment. You want it on that Weaver, you want it on the Anti-Mage, and both of them won't take too much damage to that Laguna Blade. IO, still effective because of that relocate, the good old overcharge, but he's been picked off fairly early in these fights. We have the Enfeeble being thrown out onto the Bear. Bear's still doing a lot of damage, with the Torque coming in, the Culling Blade not being used as the Battle Hunger, with a single good blade come find it, with a Torque coming in, with a RP has been able to pick off a few of them. We still got, no one's dead yet, Minor Void coming out, the two's dead, the Axe and the Io. Now they're just aiming the barracks, they're just aiming the barracks. He's not going to care too much, he's got that Aegis, he's got the Aegis for a very short amount of time. It might even pop in this battle. He's not going to be able to pick off the Nightmare up onto this, they're going to try and pick off the Bear. But the Bear's now in the Aegis form, and the Bear's just finding the rags. They're going to have Mega Creeps. They got Mega Creeps. No, they don't. The Bear falls. Does he have a resummon? And he gets the thing. Worth it. 5-man death. 4 Mega Creeps. So that's another creep dead. So now they've got 3 Raxes, a buyback by the Lone Druid, a happy face by the Lone Druid. And now we're going to see a push up the mid. They don't care. They're going for that push in the mid. They're going for the win. They can't fight up against these Mega Creeps for their entire life. And luckily Lone Druid popped off that Aegis with 30 seconds to spare. And with that Aegis, he was able to get that Rax. And now they're just going mid. They don't care. They're going mid. Anti-Mage is good enough to buy back if he has to. We got buyback ready on the Anti-Mage, buyback on the Magnus. We don't have a buyback on the Lone Druid. If he falls, he's down. Don't have a buyback on any of NXL's side, and they're just going for it. They're pushing hard. They want to win this game. We got a blink in. He's got a miss on the skewer. He's going to get stunned for 4 seconds. They don't have an RP. Weaver throwing out all the damage. Chaos Knight cannot withstand it. Weaver's been able to stand there just throwing him out like nothing else. And then, boom! The Minor Void comes flying off from the Lina. Lina will fall. And the final auto attack is going to finish him off. No, it won't. He gets out of there. The armor toggles his way to victory. Weaver still being able to do it. Anti-Mage and the Mags are still picking off these towers. They're still going to try and force it. They might try and get all the racks, and they might go for the tier force. The Chaos Knight falls. Chaos Knight, does he have buyback? Chaos Knight does not have buyback. No one on an XL has buyback. So they've got 3 towers at the wheel. They've got an Axe and the Lone Druid up and running. They're going to defend it. We've got a Culling Blade can find out. Magnus is going to buy back. He's going to try and get back into the action. Bane is now getting picked off. He's got the Battle Hunger up, so he will fall. We've got TB Boots coming fine in by the corner. Connor's going to be able to come in. He's going to try and call back this Magnus. Magnus is going to come back to the fight. Anti-Mage is fighting for his life. He's trying to Minor Void his way. Not Minor Void his way. Lifesteal his way back up. Now that's another Rex going down. Great fight. We're going to have these creeps starting to push in, and they're going to be working on tier 4. It's going to be a base race. Come on, they're pushing it. They're going for the final Rex. They should go for tier 4. Forget the Rex. Go for the tier 4. They've turned around. They decided to go for the tier 4. The Mega Creeps are fighting for the tier 4. It's going to be tier 4 to tier 4. Can this Lone Druid fight this fight? The Bear gets Nightmare down, but Nightmare comes flying off from somewhere, and we see the death of the Luna. Axe is currently dead. We've got a TP support coming in. Well, not TP support. Got the Tether support coming in. Lone Druid will fall. These Mega Creeps will still be harassing these towers, but so far, we got Inglorious. Inglorious have been able to turn this way around. Mega Creeps down. Got to turn this fight around. They've got to get the Ancient. And Inglorious take this game out in a fantastic fashion. They group up, turn around, and push down mid. Nothing NXL could do about it. And, wow. That was an amazing fight come out by Inglorious and NXL. Whoa. So, NXL, they had the pressure, they forced it early, and they got their entire lead and everything they needed early. Unfortunately, Inglorious were able to get the farm up on that Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage did eventually start to pick up that farm, and so does the Weaver, and then they just started to fight it. They won that fight, that very important fight. They lost the Mega Creeps, and then NXL started to trickle in. They didn't have a full 5-man team to go up against this Inglorious, and Inglorious was able to capitalize that in NXL's base. And then buyback galore, running it one at a time, and they just couldn't hold them off. And Inglorious win it. Oh, that was amazing. So Inglorious are able to keep their 4th position spot on the Cybergamer Ladder quite cozy. NXL unfortunately won't be able to move up into that 4th position. They're going to sit continually at the 10th position. They played a fantastic match. They deserve 5th. But they played fantastic. And, yep, that's the game right there. And I'd like to thank you for watching another Dota Yoshi presentation. If you like me, subscribe to me on YouTube. It really does help. It helps get my awareness out there. And thank you for watching.